The following program is rated TVMA. Viewer discretion is advised.
Peace, my name is Haven Bullis, and today I gotta bring you this video of Tariq Nasheed literally trying to blame black immigrants, especially Belizeans, for black on black crime. I'm not kidding. He's trying to blame Belizeans for black on black crime in the black community and black immigrants. You gotta hear this, family. This clip is about 8 minutes long of him literally trying to create some fake history, insinuating that all the gang banging and all the fighting that you have seen in the black community for like the last 30 years and beyond can be traced to black immigrants coming to the country. And I also want to say another thing. Tariq just acknowledged that I was right again, because you know how people keep trying to make it seem like black people in America have a national consciousness, and I keep saying that we have never had a national consciousness in America. Our consciousness has always been racial. Well, he just acknowledged that again. But I want you to hear this clip, family. I'll be back with some commentary. Here we go.
It goes real deep. We got to start looking at history and seeing who's who. See, we've never differentiated ourselves from other black people. So when somebody's black, we're like, that's us. But they own some other shit, man. They have been on some other shit. Let me tell y'all something deep too, man. A lot of folks don't know this. Down in Central America, now we know in the 60s, you had a lot of in the late 60s, you had the immigrant wave coming in from South America and Mexico. But even farther down than that, around the Honduras area, you had British Honduras. British Honduras in 1961, there was a big hurricane down there. And one of the hugest hurricanes in the history of that area, 1961, British Honduras. Wiped out a lot of people, made a lot of people homeless. A lot of those people from British Honduras came to Los Angeles. Okay, we're talking history here. A lot of them immigrated to Los Angeles because they were displaced. Now that there were people from that area in LA, they kind of had a lifeline. They had a family line from LA to that area. In 1973, that area, British Honduras, was named Belize. It was renamed Belize. Okay. In 1981, Belize, they got their independence, early 80s. So a lot of Belizean people came to LA. LA is full of Belizean people, especially South Central in particular. South Central LA is full of Belizeans. There's about 30, 40,000 Belizeans in South Central LA. A lot of Belizean. Do you know a lot of the gang members in LA come from Belizean backgrounds? A lot of folks don't know that. Especially the Bloods. Because when they came over, you had the Crips starting. The Crips, yeah, a lot of those Bloods are Belizeans. Yeah, a lot of Belizeans are in LA, and a lot of them are Bloods. A lot of them are Bloods. So yeah, and also it's close to Colombia, so that drug pipeline, you dig? But a lot of Bloods come from Belizean backgrounds, and some Crips too. I think some of the Harlem Crips, some of them were founded by some of those Belizean immigrants, from what I remember. It was the Harlem Crips. I know very few Crips, but a lot of Bloods have Belizean backgrounds. I know OT Genesis is Belizean. Yeah, I think he's Belizean. Also, a lot of Belizeans went to Chicago. A lot of Belizeans went to Chicago in the 60s too, in the 60s and the 70s. A lot of them went to Chicago. And a lot of other immigrants started to come into some of these urban areas in the 60s and 70s. So now, remember, you got some of these immigrant groups, especially in Belize, they have their own cultural differences there. You got the Creoles and the Garifus, I forgot, certain types of different immigrant groups within Belize, because Belize is a very small country, and it's surrounded by these other Spanish countries. So it's a lot of mixtures there and a lot of beefs and differences and stresses and stripes and shit down there. So remember, a lot of folks come over, they come here with some of that same tribalism within their culture. So again, Garifuna, right, thank you. That's the word, yeah, Garifuna, yeah. So remember, a lot of folks come over and we're another tribe. We're another tribe to them. So a lot of time when niggas start beefing, there's nothing for a motherfucker to blast this dude. That's nigga, he ain't me. That nigga's from another tribe. So that's when we see all these immigrant groups come over, people who believe they're from other tribes. See, we're on some, hey, our brothers, black on black crime, but they're like, I'm Creole. I'm from a whole different tribe than that nigga. I'll blow his fucking brains out. So a lot of that comes from that. See, we got to understand the history of all this stuff, man. We got to understand the history of all this stuff and where a lot of this stuff comes from. You dig? Why it's so easy for, we see, well, it's black on black. Why our black brother shooting our black brother? No, this dude is from a whole different culture. See, behind closed doors, see, that's the thing. Out in the open, sometimes we like, yeah, this is just another black person, but behind closed doors, because I used to live in South Central LA. I would go to cats' houses, and niggas be having Belizean flags in the house, and they got candles and shit. They mama practicing all types of different types of shit. And I'm like, whoa. You never know until you go into somebody's house what their family is into. You dig? That's why LA is a very funny place. I've talked about before how like places down in South Central, a lot of motherfuckers don't even admit to being black. You know, I've talked about this before when it comes to casting for roles, and I've talked about when we were casting for, I think, 1804. I was telling y'all how difficult it was to get like black actresses because nobody really wants to identify, they don't identify themselves as black. It's real funny style, man. We'll put out a casting call for like an African American and it don't get shit. But then we'll change the word up. Well, we want exotic women, and then a gang of black people will start sending in their resume. Because in their minds, they're like, I'm something else. I'm Central American. I'm Colombian. You jet black, but I'm El Salvadorian. LA is real big on that type of shit. Yeah? Oh, I'm Belizean. Yeah, that shit is heavy in LA. I'm telling you, that shit is real heavy. I'm not black, I'm Belizean. Yeah, I'm not black, I'm something else. Yeah? They got that shit heavy out here. Yeah, Santana Block, and it's heavy. So, I'm Taino. That kills me. Motherfuckers be talking about they Taino and all this shit. It's crazy. So it's nothing for somebody who sees themselves from another tribe blasting on cats. Even in Chicago, remember, a lot of those immigrant groups come over there who's jet black, and they're blasting each other. And like, why are black people blasting each other? Because they don't think they're the same. They're blasting each other because they see themselves as different tribal groups. It ain't just about no Crips and Bloods. It ain't about this dude has a blue rag and a red rag. No, that nigga think he's from a whole different tribe. You there?
You heard it, family. Now I gotta break this down. First, we all know what he said isn't true. But I'm gonna break it all down all the way. And how he thought he was so slick. First, he tried to claim that the majority of Bloods was Belizeans. And yeah, there was some Crips around, but the Bloods were Belizeans. Why is that important? Because anybody who knows anything, Crip wasn't really a gang at first. Remember, Crip stand for Community Revolution and Progress. They wasn't really a gang. So by him turning the Belizeans into the Bloods into Belizeans, he's making it seem like they came here with the tribalism and they was the ones who started the killing and the fighting, and that's how you got the Blood and the Crip thing going, and it really was just Belizeans versus and black immigrants mainly versus Crips who was African Americans who was just trying to help their community. That's what he's basically trying to say. Because if you notice, he claims that the blood thing is really a Belizean thing. And he talked about tribalism and people coming here and seeing themselves as a different group of people, so it's nothing for them to kill other people. That's why he brought that up. That's why he brought that up. A second thing he brought up about black immigrants coming to LA, and then he said they also came to Chicago. Why is that important? Because everybody who knows anything is that virtually all black gangs were started in two cities, LA and Chicago. And they spread throughout the country. Folk, Vice Lord, Blood, Crip, that's Chicago and LA. This is why he said the black immigrants came to Chicago and they also came to LA. This is totally false. Totally bullshit. And you want to know why I got this Trump picture up? Because this is when Trump tweeted out fake black on black crime statistics to try to paint some narrative that somehow police weren't really the problem. It's black people who are really the problem. These are fake, by the way. These are fake statistics. Most memes you see about black on black crime are fake statistics or taken out of context. This is what Trump tweeted. And that's the reason I got this here, because what Tariq Nasheed just did was try to make it seem that black on black crime, quote unquote black on black crime, is really black Americans against black immigrants, or immigrants fighting against each other, black immigrants fighting against each other. And that's how this all started. And because America has a racial consciousness about black people and black people have a racial consciousness about themselves, they are seeing black people shoot each other, but they don't understand that these are actually immigrants doing all the shooting. And these are immigrants, blacks, who are doing all the shooting, doing all the killing. And when it happens to be a quote unquote foundational slave American, as he says, as he describes it, or ADOS or whatever, it's really, I'm gonna just say African American, because the people he's talking about are not a part of his movement. But as he would say African Americans, that's just black immigrants rolling up on black Americans, killing them because they just see them as another tribe and they engaging in tribalism. And they just want to wipe them out because they, tribal, that's what tribal people do. Just attack each other randomly and just want to wipe each other out so they could be the only tribe. This is beyond disgusting. This is beyond a lie. And again, family, he's doing what Donald Trump just did. Donald Trump tweeted out fake black on black crime statistics to deflect away from police killings of black people. He literally tried to deflect away from black people gangbanging in the black community by blaming it on immigrants, by saying that they're the real gangbangers. And if you actually trace the lineage, you'll find out that all the gangbangers are actually immigrants. Or the ones who started all the fighting and the shootings are actually immigrants. Fighting each other and fighting us. I'm going to end this video here. Like, share, subscribe. Drop me a comment on what you think. Reach me a like. Reach me a donation if you can. Reach me a share. Contact me if you want to holler at me. Again, I'm still trying to get into these social media sites. The only one I'm really available to actually interact with people on is Twitter, because I'm still out of my Facebook and out of my Instagram. But, on that note, family, peace.